Thank you. Yesterday, Perek Ches Mishnah Aleph, we discussed if somebody finds out, a kohen finds out, or a wife of a kohen finds out that she's no longer the wife of a kohen, or an eved finds out that he's no longer an eved of that kohen. So then we continue. Mishnah Beis, V'kulam shahaisa truma b'sayich piyam. All of them, if they had truma in their mouths, right? What do you do with the truma that's in the mouth? Till now we were talking about, the previous Mishnah was talking about, can they continue eating? But this one is, it's in their mouth. Did they swallow or not? So Yivlo, she should swallow it. Or, right? Meaning whoever, the Eved, whichever the cases are, should swallow it. Why? Because once it went into the mouth, so then it's over with. Right? Meaning that's considered the achila, and it's already too late. Which, you can get from this, and you can get into the medications, putting it into your mouth, spitting it out, putting treif into your mouth to spit it out. According to this, you wouldn't be able to put anything treif in your mouth, even if you spit it out. Right? Like toothpaste and those type of things. But he says, the Rav says he would be moida by a kohen who found out that his mother was divorced, then he would have to spit it out. Even Rabbi Eliezer's moida, he has to spit it out. By Rabbi Yeshua, Aimer, Yiflaitu, he has to spit it out because you're not allowed to eat truba. So Amrullah, they told him, Amrullah Nitmeisaf, they told him he's Tomei, the Nitmeis Truma, or they said that the Truma that's in your mouth became Tomei. So Eliezer Aimer, Yivla, same sheet as before. He said you're allowed to swallow it. Why? Because he started eating it already. Rabbi Yeshua Aimer, Rabbi Yeshua says Yiflait. He has to spit it out. Right? Same achlek. Because Tomei Hayisa. But let's say they came and told the kohen, you were Tomei. Utmeya Haisa Truma, or the Truma that you have in your mouth was Tomei. Meaning not that it became Tomei now. It was. Tevel, or they find out that it's Tevel, and Trumas and Maisas weren't taken off. Or Maisa Rishon Shaloi not the Truma say, or it's Maisa Rishon that the Truma wasn't taken off. Or Maisa Sheni v'Hektish Shaloi Niftu, or is Maisa Sheni and Hektish that were not redeemed. Tom Pish Pish l'Seich Piv, or he tasted the Truma, and it tasted like a bed bug. Right? And if he doesn't want to eat the truma, so Areza Yiflight, he could spit it out. Right? So when it's aser, he spits it out because it shouldn't have been there. And when it tastes like a bug, because you're not mechuyev to eat truma, that becomes treif. Not treif. That tastes very bad. Right? Okay, so the first Mishnah, the first part of the Mishnah is a continuation of the previous Mishnah, but here the food is in your mouth, so you have machlokas tanoim if you have to swallow it. And the second part of the Mishnah is if it already happened in the past, meaning so it was put into the mouth by mistake. Fine, Mishnah Gimel. So we know that Truma, I meant to look this up today. Okay, we know that your grain and fruits and vegetables are not chayiv in Trumas and Maisis until it comes into the house. Like in the field, many people have asked this since October 7th, talking about October 7th, and the people go to help out the farmers because there was no manpower. So people went, they wanted to know if they could eat in the field. So the answer is yes, because there's no because it's considered arai. So let's say the guy's eating an eshkol, which is a cluster. He's eating a cluster of grapes. And as he's eating, he was eating it in the yard, which is considered arai, and therefore you can eat it. And then he walked into the house, like absentmindedly walked into the door of the house. And now, all of a sudden, while he's eating, it became chayiv and trumas and maises. Eliezer says he's allowed to finish it without taking off trumas and maises. Right? I'm sorry, I said gina to the house, gina to the chotzer from the outer yard to the chutzah. So he says he's allowed to, because once you started eating a beheta, you can continue, as was the previous Mishnah. Rabbi Shua Aimer, lo yigmar. He says you're not allowed to finish. Right? So chashecha leile Shabbos. So Shabbos also is kaveya. Right? So if it got dark on Friday night, so Rabbi Shua Aimer yigmar, he's allowed to finish it. Right? He's allowed to finish Friday night. Why? So this is very geschmack. The reason is because Shabbos is a mitzvah to eat, right? Meaning, but why is it that Shabbos is koveya? If you're eating in your yard on Shabbos, then you have to take off Trumas and Maisos. Why? Because eating on Shabbos is a mitzvah. I'm too makbid on this mitzvah, right? So, but it's a mitzvah, so therefore it's kaveya. But still, Rebbe Eliezer holds you're allowed to finish it. Rebbe Eliezer, I'm sorry, Rebbe Shua says you're allowed to finish it. Rebbe Eliezer, lo yigmar. Rebbe Eliezer says you are not allowed to finish it. So here they actually switch. The opinion switch. Till now, Rebbe Eliezer was always saying you can finish it. Rebbe Shua was not. Now there are those that say that you switch it, right? Now, Stam Agav, I think I once saw in Sharm Tziyonu B'Halacha. What do you mean Yigmar? He could finish it. Doesn't he have to make Kiddush? What happened to Kiddush? Zelamai, from this Mishnah, I think this is what he said, but I forgot to look it up. I haven't seen it in years. But he said, Ben Hashmashas, you're allowed to eat. Or he wanted to bring a raya. Right? But okay, but I'm not sure. So maybe if I remember later, I'll check. Let's do one more Mishnah because it's a very short daf. Yayin shel. So we know there's something called gilui. Get this question every day. Is you leave stuff out that we're afraid that snakes may eat it. So Shulchan Aruch paskins that bizman hazeh, if you don't live near snakes, it's a non-issue. Right? So it says Yayin shel truma sheniskala. You have wine of truma that became gully. Right? So you're not allowed to drink it. So you shafich, you have to spill it out. Now, so what? What's the big deal? Well, it's a big deal because truma you're not allowed to destroy. Right? But since it's already also to drink it, so then therefore you're allowed to spill it out. And so it goes without saying that chulin wine that was left out, you have to spill out. There's 3 liquids that are also because of gilui: mayim, yayin, and chalav. Right? Water, wine, and milk. All other liquids are mutter. Kama yishuvi yasur, and how long does you have to wait? And it becomes asur, meaning how long do cups have to be begilui, or I mean whatever liquids? Long enough for a snake to come out from someplace close and drink from it, which is really a few seconds. The Gemara brings in over the Zara that the snake was hiding under the handle of a pot, and it shot out, took a drink, and that was that. All right, so that's the shear, which Chaim Kanievsky was very mocked. But even if he was sitting there, he wasn't drinking, he would cover over the drink. Even if he stood up he covered it. Okay, Mishnah Hey, shear amayim hamagulin. What is the shear? Meaning how much water has to be begili. So
that means even like a can of soda.
Yes. Again, Shulchan Aruch paskins, we're not
we don't have to worry about it.
We don't worry about it, but the Gra held you do have to worry. You have to worry about it. That's why the Chazon Ish and the Stipler and Chaim Kanievsky tried to be makbid on a lot of Gras. But by Etzem, you don't have to be worried about it. Fine. So anyway, so he's saying, so how big, how much is it? Then if you anything less than the venom from the snake will become bottle. Anything less than that is out. You're not allowed to have it. But I guess it's a large amount, then the venom would get lost in there. The kalim, if it's in kalim, kol shehain, any amount. But if it's in the karka, arbaim sa, it's 40 sa. Right? Why? Because since it's in the ground, so the ground is cold. That will be mavatal the venom. Okay, let's see some Musa. Missed Musa last night, so the middle of Mem Hey, which is a long one. We're talking about making the Shvuas Shav and the Shvuas Sheker. I think we're up to the words. It's about halfway. No, it's not. Yeah, it's about halfway through. If anybody's following along. Right? It says Reish and Oisher don't give me poverty, right, or wealth. Right? So I don't I don't need any favors. Pen espa, because why? Because perhaps I'm going to be full, and I lost the place. Pen espa v'chichashti, and I'm gonna. Which happens to people that have success. I'm going to end up being successful. I'm going to be satisfied, and then I'm going to go against Hashem. Marti mi Hashem. I'm going to say, who is Hashem? Upen ivoresh v'ganafti v'safasti shem elikoi. And I don't want to become poor, because then I might steal, and then take and make a shvuas shav or shvuas sheker. Shniya koshem and rishayim. So the second one is worse than the first one, right? There was two things he was worried about: going against Hashem, if he's going to be wealthy, or becoming a crook and swearing falsely if he's going to be poor. So the Shara Tshuva is saying, Hashniya kashem and rishayna. The second one is more difficult than the first one. Shenever ba'atem beis Yisrael ish kilulav lechu avodu b'achar im einchem shoymim eloi v'Hashem kodshi loisachalalu oid. As it says, the Beis Yisrael, every man should go do Avodah Zarah, and if you don't listen to me, not since you don't listen to me, and you don't say, well, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to make a chil Hashem any longer. What does this mean? That the second one is worse than the first is that the punishment of swearing falsely in Bezdin is worse than doing Avodah Zarah not in public. Because it's a chil Hashem that people see somebody swearing falsely. It's mamash a chil Hashem. All averas in the Torah, the person who does the avera and his family get punished. But here it says that somebody that swears falsely, the punishment will come from him and the whole world. So he's responsible for whatever anybody who lies is responsible for the whole world getting punished. Okay, stop with that.